Namaste students, how are you all doing? Hope you are fine. We are still in unit 6 and we will be doing the grammar part today. As you already know, today's topic is conditional sentences type 1. So we will be learning what kinds of sentences are conditional type 1 sentences, where we use them and what sort of structures they have and stuff like this, and we will have practice mainly based on the exercise given in your textbook. Okay, so are you all ready for that? Okay, before we look at the book, let's have a look at some examples. What sort of sentences are called conditionals? Okay, have a look. If you break rules, you will get punished. So what do you see here? There is if, right? There are two clauses. And what does this sentence mean? When will you get punished? In what condition you will get punished? The condition when you break rules. Otherwise, you will not get punished. So, you will not get punished as such. If there is a condition of you breaking the rules, at that time you will get punished. So this is why this is called a conditional sentence. There is an if clause, that is conditional clause, and there is another main clause. Okay? Have a look at another one. If you heat ice, it melts. Again, there is an if clause. If you heat ice, it melts. So does ice melt as such? No. Again, if the condition is you heating ice, it melts, right? So this kind of sentences are called conditional sentences, and it's really easy to identify them because they mostly begin with if. They always have an if clause. So we will have a look at more examples, okay? Now open your book, page number 66. In the grammar section, number A, there are given a few examples of if sentences, okay? I have pasted the same sentences here. Okay, have you opened your book? Good. Now have a look. Again, there are some examples of if sentences. Let's have a look at a few of them first, okay? If you heat ice, it melts is the same example we just had a look at. If traffic lights are red, the drivers stop their vehicles. So when do drivers stop their vehicles? In what condition? When the traffic lights are red. Okay? If I want to write a letter, I need a pen and paper. So what do I need to write a letter? I need a pen and paper. Similarly, if you want to borrow a book from the library, show your library card. If you don't show your library card, you can't borrow a book from the library. So that is the condition, okay, for you to borrow a book from the library. If you want to wake up early, set an alarm on your clock or mobile. Otherwise, you may not wake up if you don't set alarm, okay? If I haven't got enough time today, I'll wash your car tomorrow. So that's what I may not get enough time today. So if I don't get enough time today, I will wash your car tomorrow. If you lose her phone number, you won't be able to contact her. So for you to be able to contact her, you need to have her phone number. That is the condition. If Harry gets a good result, he'll study medicine. So for Harry to study medicine, the condition is for him to get a good result, okay? If water is heated, it changes into vapor. So water doesn't change into vapor as such. It has to be heated for it to change into vapor, okay? So these are the examples in your book. Now what we have to do based on these examples is, if you look below the sentences, there is a chart like this. Can you see it? There is a chart and it shows that these examples, there are 3 types of sentences there. Okay. The first type, there is if, then simple present. The if clause is in simple present tense, and the another clause is also in the present simple tense. So let's try to find out from these examples which sentences fit here in this column. Okay, so what we have to look for here is the if clause is in simple present tense and the main clause is also in simple present tense. Now let's have a look. Number A, if you heat ice, it melts. So there is if, and this is if clause. Which tense it is in? Yes, it is in simple present tense. And how about the main clause? What tense is it in? It melts again in simple present tense. So that means, let's write number A here, that fits into this category. Okay. Similarly, we have to identify sentences those fit into these other 2 categories too. So the second one is the if clause is in simple present tense, the main clause is in simple future tense. And the third category is the if clause is again in simple present tense and the main clause is in imperative sentence. So what do you notice here? The if clause is similar in case of all these 3 types of sentences, right? And what is the similarity? The similarity is if clause is in simple present tense in case of all these 3 types of sentences, right? And the first type, the main clause is in present simple tense, and the second type, simple future tense, and the third type is imperative. Now let's see. We have already done A. Now B. If traffic lights are red, the drivers stop their vehicles. Traffic lights are red, of course, in simple present tense, right? How about this one? The drivers stop their vehicles. What tense is it in? Yes, it is again in simple present. So B also comes here. Okay. If I want to write a letter, I need a pen and paper. I want to write a letter, simple present tense. And I need a pen and paper, again in simple present tense. So C also fits here. Okay. If you want to borrow a book from the library, show your library card. Now, where does this sentence go? What do you think? The if clause is in simple present tense, that's right. But the main clause is not in simple present here. It is an imperative sentence, right? It begins with the main verb, infinitive verb. So this is an imperative sentence and it goes here. Okay. If you want to wake up early, set alarm on your clock or mobile. Again, if clause, simple present, and set alarm on your clock or mobile, it is an imperative sentence, right? So E goes here. If I haven't got enough time today, I'll wash your car tomorrow. So I haven't got enough time today, it is in simple present tense. How about this one? I'll wash your car tomorrow. What tense is it in? Is it in simple present tense? No. It is in simple future tense. So it goes here, right? If you lose her phone number, you won't be able to contact her. You lose her phone number is in simple present. You won't be able to contact her. This is in simple future, right? So it goes here. If Harry gets a good result, he'll study medicine. Harry gets a good result is in simple present and he'll study medicine is in simple future tense. So it also goes here. If water is heated, it changes into a vapor. So water is heated, simple present. It changes into vapor, again in simple present, right? So it goes here. So this means the examples given in your textbook contain 3 different types of sentences, okay? But there is one similarity in all of them. Have you noticed what that is? Yes, very good. They all begin with if clause, and the if clause is in simple present tense in case of all these sentences. Okay, if so, now let's have a look at the sentences again and try to find what do these sentences mean. Okay, what sort of message do these sentences give? For example, if you heat ice, it melts. So what is it? What type of sentence is it? बरफलाई ततायो भने पग्लिन्छ. What's that? Is that possibility, truth, or what is that? Yes, that is a general truth, right? Similarly, if traffic lights are red, the drivers stop their vehicles. When the traffic lights are red, drivers stop their vehicles. So is this a possibility or a general truth? What is it? Yes, it is also a general truth. Okay? If I want to write a letter, I need a pen and paper. That's obvious, right? Again, a general truth. So what can we say from these three examples then? They all have if clause in simple present tense and the main clause also in simple present tense, and they also some kind of general truth. So what conclusion can you draw from here? तीनटै एक्जाम्पल्समा उस्तै उस्तै कुरा देखियो भनेपछि हामी यहाँबाट के ड्रा गर्न सक्छौं? What do you think? Yes, this first type of structure of a conditional sentence is used to express general truth. Okay? To express general truth, we use this type of structure where if clause is in simple present tense and the main clause is also in simple present tense. Similarly, now let's have a look at another one. If you want to borrow a book from the library, show your library card. What does this show? Some kind of simple possibility, right? It is possible for you to borrow a book from the library if you show your library card. Sambhavana. If you do not have your library card, it is not possible for you to borrow a book from the library. तिमीसँग library card छ र देखायौ भने तिमीले book लिन सक्छौ, otherwise सक्दैनौ. So that means real possibility, sambhavana, right? Similarly, if you want to wake up early, set alarm on your clock or mobile. What is this show? Again, possibility. It is possible for you to wake up early if you set alarm, right? Alarm लायो भने चाहिँ तिमी उठ्न सक्छौ अथवा तिमीलाई उठ्नु छ भने alarm लगाऊ. Possible छ. Alarm लगाएनौ भने चाहिँ तिमी नबिउजिन पनि सक्छौ. So that also shows some type of possibility. So this means these two structures are used to express simple possibility. Okay? The first type of structure where the main clause is also in simple present tense is used to express general truth. जुन चाहिँ साँचो हो, कुनै एउटा बेलामा मात्रै नभएर हमेशा साँचो रहने कुरा. For instance, आइसलाई ततायो भने पग्लिने कुरा, it's true, it's always true, right? त्यसैले त्यस्तो खालको कुराहरुमा चाहिँ हामी दुईटै क्लजमा simple present tense use गर्छौं conditional sentence मा. Okay? But if it doesn't show a general truth but just a simple possibility, we use either simple future or imperative in the main clause. So this is where we use conditional sentence type 1 sentences. यो दुईटैलाई चाहिँ हामी conditional type 1 भन्छौं. Okay? But some also explain this first type of sentences as being zero type conditional. कुनै कुनै किताबमा कसैले चाहिँ यो फर्स्ट टाइपको लागि चाहिँ zero conditional पनि भन्ने गरेको छ. So either you say call it a zero conditional or type 1 conditional, that's fine. Okay? But for our purpose now, because our topic is conditional type 1, we are treating them as conditional type 1. Okay? So what have you understood so far? I'll quickly repeat. Conditional type 1 sentences, in case of these sentences, the if clause is always in simple present tense. That is the most important thing you have to remember. Okay? Conditional type 1 मा चाहिँ if clause जहिले पनि simple present tense मा हुन्छ. If the if clause is in simple present tense, it is a conditional type 1 sentence. Okay? And conditional type 1 sentences are used to express either general truth or simple possibility, real possibility. So we use present simple in the main clause if we are using it to express general truth, and we use either simple future or imperative if we are talking about simple possibility. Okay, that is the another thing you have to remember. So have you understood so far? If you have any questions regarding this, please ask your teacher if you haven't yet been clear. Okay. And now let's move on to the exercise of your book. Page number 66 again. Number B, time per grammar, and number 1. I have copied the same sentences here. You can do it from your book. So, are you ready now? Okay, let's see what is written here. Complete the following sentences with appropriate form of verbs in brackets. Okay, here are some incomplete sentences and we have to complete them with the given verbs in bracket, and we have to put the verbs in correct form. Okay, and remember these all are conditional type 1 sentences. Okay, if you love me, meet is the verb. Me at the Garden of Dreams after half an hour. So what do you think is the appropriate form? You can also refer back to this table. Okay, we just talked about 3 types of sentences. Okay, in the main clause, 3 simple present tense, main clause with future simple, or main clause with imperative sentence. Okay, so you can refer to that as well. Out of these 3 types, what do you think is appropriate here? If you love me, yes, the imperative form is the most appropriate one here, right? If you love me, meet me at the Garden of Dreams after half an hour. Simple imperative sentence here. And number B, if Mukesh goes to picnic, and go is the verb, it has to be negative. So what do you think should be written here? What is the right answer? If Mukesh goes to picnic, yes, will not go. Okay. Number C, if you a baby, she will cry. So bit is the verb. What do you think? Now you are filling it up in the if clause. Yes, simple present bit. So, do you remember why we write the simple present verb here? Can you tell me? Yes, it is an if clause, and in case of conditional type 1 sentences, if clause is always in simple present tense. So, don't get confused. If in conditional type 1 sentences, if clause is always in simple present tense. So, that's easy. Number D, if you call me, come is the verb and I is the subject. What do you think? Timile bolayo bhani ma aउँछु, that is the tense, so I will come, possibility. Okay, if you call me, it is possible that I will come, so that shows possibility. If you forget is the verb, to call me, I will remind you. So what is the right form of the verb forget here? Now again, this is if clause and we are talking about conditional type 1 sentences. So simple present form of the verb, right? So if you forget to call me, I will remind you, okay? If you heat butter, it melt is the verb. So what is the right form here? What do you think? Does it show possibility or a type of general truth? Yes, it shows a type of general truth, right? So what should we write? The simple present form, melts. If you heat butter, it melts. Okay, have you all completed this? I'm sure you have. Now one more exercise is there in number B. You have a look what you have to do there. Okay, can you all see here? If not, you can have a look at your book. The same exercise is there in your book as well. A little bit more challenging than the previous one now, okay? Complete the following sentences with appropriate clauses. One clause is given here, mostly the if clause, and you have to complete the sentences with an appropriate main clause, okay? Let's see. If I don't pay the phone bill today, what is the possibility? मैले आज फोनको बिल तिरिन भने what may happen? के हुन सक्छ त? What is the possibility? So you can write anything relevant, anything appropriate here, but the structure should be appropriate, correct, right? Okay, if I don't pay the phone bill today, I will get fined, simply, okay? मैले आजसम्ममा फोनको बिल तिरिन भने मलाई जरिवाना लाग्छ. I'll have to pay fine. Okay, I'll get fined. This is just one example. You can write anything appropriate or anything relevant here, but because this is a sort of possibility, के हुन सक्ने सम्भावना, we are talking about possibility here. You better use simple future tense. Remember that thing. Otherwise, you can write anything relevant here. This is just one example, okay? Similarly, number B, if Manju joins the team, so what can happen? If Manju joins our team, what is the possibility after that? What do you think? Simply one example, we will win the match. So we are so confident about Manju that if Manju joins the team, we'll win the match. Manjuले हाम्रो team join गर्यो भने चाहिँ हामी जित्छौं भन्ने confidence छ हामीलाई. So that is what it shows. But you can write other example too. But just remember, because it is also about expressing possibility, simple real possibility, use simple future structure, okay? If it rains, what may happen? If it rains, what do you think? What may happen here? If it rains, I will not go to school. Do you also feel like that sometimes? As a pani पर्यो भने चाहिँ म स्कुल जान्न है. Okay, when I was a student, I used to feel like that. So if it rains, I will not go to school. That is one example. You can write anything relevant, and you can also write the imperative from here. For example, if it rains, don't go to school. Okay, this is also possible. So in case of these sentences, either you use simple future structure or imperative structure, that's fine, okay? If you forget to take your practical exam, what may happen? You will fail, okay? Simple example. If you forget to take your practical exam, you will fail. So that is a simple example. If you leave now, again, what is the possibility if you leave now? You will reach home on time, let's say, okay? तिमी समयमै घर पुग्छौ. So that is again another example. So you can write anything relevant here. If you are hungry, the main if clause is given here and you have to write the main clause. So, if you are hungry, what can happen? What is the possibility? Have some breads, for example, if you want to use the imperative form. Have some breads. Comma is not needed here. Have some breads if you are hungry. You can write other things as well. You will not be able to work, let's say, if you are hungry. Okay? So, what you remember in case of this sort of exercises, you can write anything relevant, anything appropriate, but remember to use correct structure. Okay? And there is one more thing here for you to notice. In 5 of these examples, the if clause is in the beginning, and in the last example, the if clause is at last. So, what have you noticed here? Yes, there is just one thing for you to remember. You can put the if clause either in the beginning of the sentence or at last of the sentence. That's fine. But if you write the if clause in the beginning of the sentence, after the if clause, you have to give comma. Okay? But if you put the if clause in at the end of the sentence, no comma needed. Okay? Have some breads if you are hungry. Okay? Let's see, the same sentence can be written the other way. I will get fined if I don't pay the phone bill today. Similarly, we will win the match if Manju joins the team. So you can write either way, okay? So that's what you have to remember. And there is one more thing I would like to talk about here. Sometimes you may find the conditional sentences not with if but unless. Let's have a look at one example. The same sentence can be written the other way. Unless I pay the phone bills today, I will get fined. This sentence and this sentence, they both mean the same. They both are conditional type 1 sentences. Then what is the difference? What have you noticed? There is a negative condition, right? If I don't pay the phone bill, that is a negative condition. So, the negative condition can be written using unless as well. Negative condition को case मा चाहिँ हामी if को सट्टा unless पनि use गर्न सक्छौं. But again, did you notice another difference there? If you use if, the sentence structure is negative. I don't pay the phone bill, okay? But if you use unless, the sentence structure is not negative. Because unless itself is a negative marker. Unless आफैले चाहिँ त्यो बेला मैले गरिन भन्ने देखाउँछ यहाँ. त्यसैले if you use unless, you don't write unless I don't pay the phone bills, okay? You write unless I pay the phone bills. The sentence structure here is not negative. You don't use not. But if you write the same thing using if, you have to write I don't pay, the negative structure of sentence. So that is the difference. So this kind of conditional is also used in English, and I'm sure you are familiar about that. Okay. Now there is one follow-up activity here before we move on to speaking exercise. Just have a quick look at page number 67 of your book, okay? Work in groups, form 10 conditional sentences with if plus present structure. Present them to the class and find whether you made a mistake or not. So what it means is, you have to write 10 conditional type 1 sentences. For that you can use either of the three structures we just discussed, okay? And in the next class, show it to your friends and teacher and find out if you made any mistake or not. And please take help of your teacher to do it, okay? Now just quickly we will have a look at the speaking exercise, page number 68. This is also related to conditional type 1. There is a conversation given in number 1. Have a quick look at it. The conditional sentence here is underlined. No, but I'll look for it. If I find it, I'll call you. Similarly, if I forget to take your medicine, inform the nurse about it. So the similar structure that we just discussed about. Now have a look at number B. This is your actual speaking practice. What number 1 says is, work in a pair, have similar conversations as given in engage yourself section using the clues. For example, number A, the clue is not feeling well, go to hospital. So you practice the rest of the conversation yourself. What conditional sentence can we form from this clue? Okay, not feeling well, go to hospital. So what conditional can we form from here? If you are not feeling well, comma, this is type of suggestion, right? So you simply write an imperative, go to hospital. If you are not feeling well, go to hospital. So please do the rest in the same way and have a look at number 2 as well. Work in a pair, student A asks a question and student B replies. So this is about making a question and answering it, okay? Look at the example. What happens if you boil water is the question. And if you boil water, it changes into steam. That is the answer, okay? Now let's practice one here as well. What if eat too much? This is the clue given. If eat too much. So what question now? We have to write the question and answer both. What question can you make from here? What? Yeah, you can make similar question. What happens if you eat too much? So this can be the question, right? And what can be the answer? Now for B, this is a conversation, right? What can be the answer? If I, because this is a conversation, so it's better use I here. If I eat too much, so what is the possibility? What may happen to me if I eat too much? I will gain weight, let's say, okay? So this is the way you have to practice this speaking exercise. Do it in pair. One of you make a question using the given clue and the other one make answer like this. And they have to be the conditional type 1 sentences. That is what you have to remember. Please complete the rest with your friends and please take help of your teacher as well. There is one follow-up activity as well and your teacher will help you to do this. Okay, so today we talked about conditional type 1 sentences. There are other types of conditional too. We will be talking about them in other classes. For today, this is the end of our today's class. I hope you enjoyed and you learned. If you still have some confusions left, please ask your teacher and please have a lot of practice, as I always say to you, right? Okay, thank you for today. See you later.